The year was 2011, and a horrific armed robbery had left a family devastated in New York. A crime so brazen, it left the police scrambling for answers. Detective Laura Hayes leaned against her desk at the precinct, the weight of the case heavy on her shoulders. No leads, no witnesses, and the only description of the suspect was maddeningly vague. Tall, male, wearing a mask. Hayes knew time was slipping away. Then, it happened. Her phone buzzed. The subject line, "You're going to want to see this." Hayes opened the file, and her tired eyes widened. It was a Facebook post from a public profile. In the photo, a man lounged on a battered couch, a smug grin on his face. In one hand, a stack of cash. In the other, a gun. The exact same gun described by the victims, right down to the scratched barrel. The caption was chilling in its arrogance. Easy money. Plenty more where that came from. Within hours, the suspect was in custody. That single post, dripping with arrogance, unraveled his crime and brought justice to a shattered family. This is just one chapter in the extraordinary story of Facebook, a platform born from late-night coding sessions that grew into a force capable of shaping lives, uncovering truths, and sometimes catching the bad guys. And it all started with a young man named Mark Zuckerberg in a Harvard dorm room. Mark Elliott Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, in White Plains, New York, into a family that valued education and curiosity. His father, Edward, a dentist, and his mother, Karen, a psychiatrist, fostered an environment where learning was encouraged and questions were always welcomed. As the second of 4 children, Mark was part of a lively household. Even as a child, Mark Zuckerberg was different.
Mark, honey, come play outside.
I'm building something, Mom. It's important.
Hello, Mark.
At just 12 years old, Mark Zuckerberg built his first major creation, ZuckNet, a messaging application that allowed his father's dental office to communicate with their home computer system.
This is amazing, Mark. I have no idea how you did it, but it's remarkable.
It's actually pretty basic. It uses a local network to transmit packets of data between connected terminals. Basically, when you type a message, it gets sent directly to the other computer on the network. It's just a way of being connected.
Mark, you have talent. Things like this can change the world.
It was an early glimpse into his potential to connect people in new ways. It's fair to say that Mark's difficulty to socialize in traditional ways may have played a role in his desire to find alternate ways to connect with people, ways that he could control and understand. Before Facebook, Mark showed the world a glimpse of his genius with Synapse Media Player, a software that used AI to predict users' music preferences. Synapse was so impressive that major companies like Microsoft and AOL came knocking with job offers and acquisition deals. But Mark had bigger plans. In 2002, Mark joined Harvard University, one of the most prestigious schools in the world. While others saw it as a place for connections and traditions, Mark saw it as something else entirely, a testing ground for his ideas. Mark wasn't Harvard's life of the party, but his projects started turning heads, starting with one that nearly got him expelled. Facemash, a site that lets students compare photos of their classmates, was a hit, but not everyone was amused.
They forced me to shut Facemash down forever, but they didn't kick me out. So, a good meeting overall.
But the failure of Facemash didn't stop him. If anything, it ignited something bigger. Mark wasn't just interested in creating projects, he wanted to connect people. This time, the world was about to change.
You really think people will care about this? Sharing their lives online?
They already do. They just don't have the right tool. Yet. Think about it. Everyone wants to feel connected. The Facebook is a way to bring people closer. They are going to share their lives there, and trust me, no one will want to be left out of that.
On February 4th, 2004, Mark Zuckerberg and his friends launched the Facebook. Initially exclusive to Harvard students, the site gained over 1,000 users within 24 hours. What began as a small social experiment was on the verge of transforming the way the world connected. By the age of 25, Mark Zuckerberg had transformed Facebook into a global phenomenon, making himself the youngest self-made billionaire in history and one of the richest people on the planet. But success comes with a price. The Winklevoss twins accused Mark of stealing their idea.
Let me rephrase, Mr. Zuckerberg. You agreed to collaborate with my clients, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, and Divya Narenda, on the creation of a social network called Harvard Connection, which shares striking similarities to what later became Facebook. And if that's true, wouldn't you agree that my clients are entitled to compensation?
Honestly, no, I don't think they are entitled or deserving of any compensation. They just had an idea and not a very good one. They could never have developed it into something good. As for Facebook, I built it. It came entirely from me, and that's the truth. But I do think they are going to get compensation, and a good one. For them, it will be a fortune. For me, it will be nothing more than a few grains of sand on the beach. So be it. This whole thing just isn't worth my time.
A legal battle followed, ending with a $65 million settlement. But the drama didn't end there.
You diluted my shares of the company?
I didn't do anything. You signed the papers. You did it yourself.
You betrayed me, Mark. Really? I was your only friend.
It was the best move for Facebook. You were holding it back from growing.
The fallout with Eduardo Saverin marked the end of a friendship and a turning point in Facebook's meteoric rise. Since becoming a billionaire through Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg has meticulously overseen every aspect of his company, while also strategically expanding his company's portfolio through significant acquisitions, including WhatsApp for $1 billion, Instagram for $19 billion, and Oculus VR for another $2 billion. Of course, Mark and his company have faced significant legal and political challenges over the years, from the Cambridge Analytica scandal, which led to a $5 billion fine, to accusations of monopolistic practices and intense scrutiny from governments worldwide. Yet, they've never stopped moving forward. In 2023, Meta Platforms, Facebook's parent company, reported an annual revenue of over $135 billion, while its market capitalization stood at around $900 billion at the end of 2024. Even with a net worth of $193.5 billion and a spot among the 5 richest people in the world, Mark Zuckerberg shows no signs of slowing down, let alone retiring.
In every generation of technology, there is competition of ideas for what the future should look like. At Meta, we are trying to build a future that is more open, more accessible, more natural, and more about human connection. Facebook has always been about bringing people closer. That's our mission, and we're not stopping anytime soon.
From a dorm room to connecting billions, Mark Zuckerberg's story is one of brilliance, controversy, and a vision that reshaped the world. Mark Zuckerberg continues to lead Meta Platforms, expanding into virtual reality and AI, and his journey is far from over.